what is the definition of a right?
What is the definition of a right?
You're welcome. Time will start when you start.
I guess it would be natural. It would be common sense. The right to life, liberty, happiness, the right to live. The right to live. I probably got this way wrong. By the way, there have been so many questions. I'm just glad I haven't gotten, and now I got one.
Thank you.
So, just an absolute firm believer in states' rights and letting the states blaze the way.
I want to say one thing because I think this is so important. It's intrinsic to our belief system. States don't have rights. Only individuals have rights. States have powers. And only those specific enumerated powers in the Constitution can the federal government act. And
I don't think that freedom of religion should be an excuse to deny service to anyone.
at the heart of the libertarian concept of private property rights. Should a Jewish baker be forced to bake a Nazi wedding cake?
What about a public utility? All right, by a public utility that's privately owned, denying service to a person. Pardon me. Public product used by everyone. That because I own that service that is provided to everyone, I'm going to cut off your service because of my disagreement with you on the religion that you have.
I'm sorry, but fundamentally, you do not have a right to the product of someone else's labor.
As a private business, would you allow people to not sell to others?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's your business, you own it. It's your private property.
Well,
that's the centerpiece of libertarianism.
Not
I would give private charity to help those people who are in need, but I would not force a business owner to do it because that is tyrannical.
But what if it's electricity, and there's no other way to get my electricity than through the electrical co-op that is not really a co-op, it's
You have to have
the
faith in
electrical
the free market because people are charitable. That's the thing. In Hurricane Katrina, they were talking about price gougers. They had no electricity. So guess what happened? People brought generators in, and they were selling generators. They were not only just selling generators, they were selling them from states away. Why? Because they were able to sell them at an astronomical price. They called them price gougers.
I'm going to have to call a close to this.
Let the free market work.
Well, I'm just back to the notion that government should protect us from harm, whether that's individuals, groups, corporations, foreign governments, and I guess I put this in the category of doing harm.
People should have the right to refuse service on their own property. And it's important for us to defend this right, even when it's unpopular. What's popular is not always what's right, and what's right is not always what's popular. So can we please defend our libertarian principles? If we're going to run a somewhat quixotic third-party campaign, let's fight for our principles, even when it's unpopular. I believe in freedom of religion, but let the bigots out themselves. Let's know who they are. so that we know not to frequent them. Are you going to eat a cake made by someone who doesn't agree with you, who's being forced to do it? That doesn't sound like a very smart idea to me. The Civil Rights Act dealt with the discrimination in government. It was only Title II of the Civil Rights Act that dealt with private property. And yes, I think it's horrible, and racism should never be tolerated in a free society. But when government steps in, there are unintended consequences.
And that potentially someone denies me service. We were talking about this the other night, and I'm sorry that the examples aren't coming to mind, but I'll have to bone up on the next debate.
Donald Trump's a pussy.